This is Watch Fox Sports Zone. More sports coverage than anyone else in the Midlands. Watch Fox Sports Zone, sponsored by Lexington Medical Center, starts right now.
Welcome into Sports Zone, everyone. I'm Sports Director Matt Dowell. Thanks for staying up late with us on this Friday after college football. It was a jam-packed Friday night in high school football. So many of our Midlands teams in action tonight for Week 4. You guys waited long enough for these highlights and scores, so let's get into all of it. Starting with our Sonic Friday Night Rivals game between Newberry and Fairfield Central, joining this one in the first quarter. And the Bulldogs get us started tonight. A beautiful throw here from Kenton Caldwell to Caleb Levy, who takes it into the end zone. A 50-yard reception there. That's big boy football, y'all. Newberry taking the early 7-0 lead. This was a fantastic game. Second quarter, game tied at 7 now, and again, it's the QB receiver connection. Levi able to find space and runs all the way in for another touchdown. Newberry leading 14-7 now, feeling good. Later on, Newberry now up 28-7, looking like they're cruising to victory until Fairfield Central decided to make it a ball game. Into the first half, Fairfield QB Caden Diggs to Tyquarius Shannon for the touchdown. It's 28-14 at the half. And y'all, this was just the beginning. Third quarter, 28-21 now. Tiggs in the air to Jalen Squirewell. And look at that catch. It is a tie ball game, everybody. 28 apiece. Still in the third quarter, same score. Diggs over the top to Shannon again, and another spectacular catch from the Griffins. Fairfield taking the lead, up 35-28. This game was unbelievable, and it's Fairfield Central who wins 49-42. Our Amanda Poole caught up with the winning Griffins after the game.
Coach, you guys come out, score 3 touchdowns in that third quarter. What changed in the second half?
Well, we just told the guys at the half, we probably played the worst half that we played. That's what I told you coming out. And we told the guys, if we can get a score right before half and get a score after half, we got a chance to win the football game.
This is your 4th straight win over Newberry. You told me that the motto this year is to protect the brand. How'd you do that?
Well, this is my principal is here somewhere. That's her motto. Dr. Swilly, who's also a national finalist for Superintendent in the Nation. All right, that's her brand. That's her saying. So we just picked it up, and the kids are trying to protect the brand.
Alrighty, Coach, and talk about Greer. He's had a phenomenal performance. He was our player of the game. What does he bring to this team?
I'll be honest with you, tight end Greer is an unbelievable player, but Caden Diggs, the offensive line, the defensive guys, everybody tonight bought in, and we were able to win this game. Not only for tight end, all of these guys played tonight.
Well, here's for a team effort. You guys won our game of the week. Congrats.
Congratulations, Coach Demetrius Davis and your Fairfield Central Griffins.
What a win for Fairfield Central. Our Sonic Friday Night Rivals continues next week with Week 5 action. September 27th, kickoff at 7:30 between Mid-Carolina and Batesburg-Leesville. The Panthers hosting the Rebels in what should be a good game. And if you would like to watch next Friday's Sonic FNR matchup between these two or any of our FNR games throughout the season, here is how you guys can do just that. We broadcast our FNR games on our digital channel, WACH 57.2. If you have Spectrum, that's cable channel 1250, and we live stream all of our FNR games on our website, our Watch Fox app, our Watch Fox Facebook page, and this year we've added the YouTube page to the mix, so just find the live tab and you can watch it there. Well, let's keep the Week 4 highlights rolling here on Sports Zone. The Irmo Yellow Jackets back at home tonight, looking to keep their undefeated season alive against Myrtle Beach. First drive of the game for Irmo. QB A.J. Brand with a big-time run that puts the Yellow Jackets in the red zone. The Virginia Tech commit showing off his game. Wouldn't be able to get a touchdown out of it, though. Myrtle Beach's defense playing well early, so Irmo kicks the field goal. It's good, and they're up 3-0 early on. Then it was time for the Yellow Jackets defense. First quarter, Myrtle Beach on the offensive, and sophomore defensive end Jaden Bryant for Irmo with the sack. Myrtle Beach losing the yard there and slowly losing their confidence against a good Yellow Jackets team. Then same drive, Myrtle Beach throwing off the tip of the fingers and picked off by Quentin Strawman Jr., taking it back to the 29-yard line. And this time, Irmo's going to come up with 6. A.J. Brand hands it off to Bryant, who finds the end zone. This time, Irmo winning tonight 38-12. They're 5-0 on the season. They have a bye next week. And just a few miles away, the Dutch Fork Silver Fox is hosting Oceanside Collegiate tonight. We joined this one with 6 minutes left in the first half, and Dutch Fork already leading 35-0. Oceanside with a bad snap from the Land Sharks recovered by Dutch Fork's Elgin Sessions, and Dutch Fork going to take advantage of that, keep their foot on the gas. Silver Foxes QB Ethan Offing hands it off to senior Maurice Anderson. Silver Foxes take a 42-0 lead. This game was one-way traffic for Dutch Fork as they win 51-0, their third shutout in 4 games this season. Let's check out some scores from Week 4 action. Lower Richland at home tonight against Darlington. The Diamond Hornets, though, falling by a couple of touchdowns, 26-12. Dreer was up at York, and it's a 3-point victory for York. Other Week 4 scores for you tonight. Woodland was hosting Bamberg Earhart. They win 25-20. And then Gilbert at home tonight against North Augusta, but a tough day at the office for the Indians as North Augusta wins that by 23. Some more scores for you in Week 4 football. Swansea at home losing though to Barnwell 14-7. South Florence was at Crestwood tonight and they win 42-7 over the Knights. And then a couple of more scores for you from Week 4. Mid Carolina, who, as we told you, is one of our FNR teams next week. They beat the Pelion Panthers comfortably tonight, 49-14. And Airport getting their first win of the season at home tonight over Aiken, 34-16. Now for one of the games of the week, Camden hosting Richland Northeast. Whew, how about that for an entrance? Starting this one with Richland Northeast's quarterback, Will Wilson. Such a big-time player, throwing the first touchdown of the game to Nehemiah Richardson. So R&E getting on the board first. This was a fantastic football game. Camden made a big response when Trayvon Wright ran 100 yards after the kickoff for a touchdown. So how about this for a kickoff return? Trayvon Wright all the way, the entire football field to tie this ball game up, y'all. And this was the energy of the whole night. This was such a great game. It did not take long, though, for R&E to respond back as Wilson, their trusty QB, ran for a touchdown right after that here to give the Cavs the lead once again. R&E up 14-7 in the first half on Camden, but it doesn't stop there. Camden able to hit back, and they grab another touchdown here. Wyatt Thompson throwing a touchdown to Levante Williams. This was such a great game, but it's the Cavaliers who walk away with the win, getting a big-time W on the road over Camden. It's R&E 26-15 over the Bulldogs. Switching over now to West Florence versus Lugoff-Elgin, the home of the Demons. By the third quarter, the game was 21-0 for West Florence. One play with quarterback Keyshawn Johnson throwing the ball to a player who stumbled for a first down. We were here for the third quarter. We didn't get much action in this game, but we wanted to give this game a shout out because it was very competitive. But it's West Florence who wins this one over Lugoff-Elgin tonight, 28-7. Lugoff-Elgin trying to respond here. Aiden Fitzgerald throwing the ball to Shamil Sadiq. Stopped though from West Florence. And then one last attempt to get a touchdown before the third quarter for Lugoff. Fitzgerald giving the ball to Juarez Brown, who tries to go around the West Florence defense. Can't get it done though. It was tough for the Lugoff-Elgin offense in this one, but again, West Florence winning this game 28-7. So Lugoff-Elgin suffering a loss today. Some more scores from Week 4 action. River Bluff continues their undefeated season with a 44-0 rout over Chirac, and White Knoll was at home tonight against Cane Bay, and the Timberwolves rolling 49-13. Other scores from Week 4, Brooklyn Casey getting their first win of the season over South Aiken by a touchdown, 34-27, and Keenan was down at Orangeburg Wilkinson, the home of the Bruins, but it's the Raiders walking away with the W, 26-20. South Point was hosting the AC Flora Falcons tonight, and it was one-way traffic for South Point. They win 56-14 over Flora, and Gray Collegiate was at home tonight against Midland Valley, and the War Eagles winning that one by 5. A couple of more scores for you tonight. Columbia over at Wagner Sally, they win in a shutout 15-0, so a nice win for Columbia. And Saluda was on the road up at Southside Christian in the Greenville area, and the Tigers winning that one 19-14. Well, it's time for a timeout here on Sports Zone, but stay with us. That's just the beginning because we've got more highlights and scores coming your way. Blythewood at Westwood, Chapin and Somerville, Lakewood, and more.
This is Watch Fox Sports Zone. More sports coverage than anyone else in the Midlands. Watch Fox Sports Zone, sponsored by Lexington Medical Center, starts right now.
Welcome back to this late edition of Sports Zone, everyone. Thanks again for staying up late with us after college football. Let's keep the Week 4 highlights rolling tonight in our high school football action. We had a huge rivalry matchup between the undefeated Blythewood Bengals traveling just down the road to the 2-2 Westwood Redhawks. We're going to pick this one up in the second half after a scoreless first half. And after a touchback on the opening kick of the second half, the Redhawks would get the ball to start the third quarter. And on to 3rd and long, Westwood's QB Carrington Carter took a deep shot downfield, overthrowing his receiver, but a flag would be thrown for pass interference on the defense, moving the Redhawks 15 yards down the field. A few plays later, Westwood has the ball inside Blythewood's 10-yard line. Carter threw a quick pass to his tight end, Uriah Lofton, scoring the first points of the game. And after an extra point, the Redhawks were up by 7. That actually was the only points of this game. On the ensuing drive by the Bengals, they would be faced with a 4th and 7 in Westwood territory, but the Bengals failing to convert, turning the ball over on downs. After a quick 3-and-out, though, from the Redhawks, they'd punt the ball right back to the Bengals. Carter Coleman would take this one all the way to the house, only for it to be called back due to a block in the back. If you guys were watching, you probably saw it there early on in this play. So Blythewood thinking they have a big score to tie the ball game, but the referees say no, and Westwood wins this game tonight against their rivals Blythewood 7-0. All it took was one touchdown. Moving on, we have the Sumter Gamecocks facing off against the Spring Valley Vikings tonight, home of the Vikings. This one was off to a hot start in the first quarter, and Sumter never let off the gas in this one. Senior running back Cameron Fortune would take this handoff all the way into the end zone, giving the Gamecocks a 28-7 lead over the Vikings. On the ensuing drive, Spring Valley failing to convert, giving the ball back to Sumter. Whew, how about that defense? Whew, look, the fine Gamecocks ain't playing tonight. After just a couple plays, Sumter would take a shot to Christopher Bentley into the end zone, adding another score in just the first quarter. Sumter running away with this one tonight, 56-7 over Spring Valley. Let's get you caught up on some scores from Week 4 tonight. We have Wilson Hall in Skeeza action, getting a 42-0 rout over Camden Military. Ben Lippen also at home tonight against Northwood Academy, and the Falcons falling by 20 at home. Other Skeeza scores for you guys. Heathwood Hall at home tonight against Cardinal Newman, and the Highlanders coming through with a big fourth quarter to win that one by 4. And Hammond was up 55-0 at halftime, and they roll over Hilton Head 55-21 in the end. Some more scores for you tonight. Strom Thurmond at home against Emerald, and they win that one 26-14. And Greenwood Christian, a 27-7 victory over Orangeburg Prep. Well, let's go down to Somerville, where they were hosting the Chapin Eagles in a big-time battle of heavyweights. No score early on, 3rd and 10 from inside the 10 from Somerville. Jaden Cummings hits Jaden Kelly Murray on the screen. He somehow finds his way for the first down to keep the Green Wave on the field. 95 yards later, the drive culminates on a 27-yard touchdown run by Javen Williams, and the Green Wave taking a 7-0 lead over Chapin. This one was back and forth all night. Chapin had some success driving between the 30s, but Somerville always had an answer early on. Defense, a big sack here by Yasir Smith. And then showing this one here, they got taken out last week, the Photog, but Webb Wright gets taken out this week again. Jaden Cummings, a screen to Carson Gunn. He gets rolled up here, but this is on experience on the ground. Still finds the ball. Unfortunately, like many plays in the first half, this one will be called back. But Somerville winning this one over Chapin tonight. This one was back and forth all day long. Good defense there from the Eagles. Somerville winning 53-32. Chapin suffers their first loss of the season. Well, Lakewood with the Gators were over at Wilson tonight. We're going to join this one early on, as this one would go to overtime tonight. Wilson's Tristan Howard looking to get the pass, but gets chased by a host of Lakewood defense. The Gators swarming. Later on, Lakewood's Brian Brooks throwing a pass, but it's intercepted with one hand by Wilson's McQuain McWhite, and he runs it a good bit before being brought down by Lakewood. Later on, Howard for Wilson delaying the fake handoff, keeps it and rushes in for a touchdown. Wilson getting on the board, and their fan base is loving it. Later on, staying with Wilson in this game, Howard handing it off to Tamonte Emmanuel, but doesn't get far from the Lakewood defense as the Gators again coming to play against this offense. And then we're still with Wilson later on. Howard's long hang time pass to Kenyon Myers at the 15-yard line gets in for a touchdown. Wilson had the lead early, but Lakewood going to claw their way back and win this one in overtime. A final score of 17-14. Lakewood walking away with a big comeback victory. Some final scores from week 4 for you guys. The Shamrocks of Eau Claire falling at home tonight 21-8 to Ridge Spring Minetta. And how about Batesburg-Leesville, also the other team in next week's Sonic FNR that we're featuring, and the Panthers winning 60-0 over Calhoun County. Whew, between them and Mid-Carolina, we might see a lot of offense next week on our Sonic FNR. Richard Wynn continues their amazing season, winning by a couple of touchdowns over Wardlaw. They're undefeated on the season. And Colleton Prep 26-0 over Clarendon Hall tonight. So really successful. There's a lot of shutouts tonight in week 4 action, but a couple of big winners. A lot of big wins, though, in week 4. Well, that'll do it for our high school football coverage tonight, but stay with us here on Sports Zone because we're talking college football next as the Benedict Tigers got their first win of the season in thrilling fashion.